to get diplomatic.
What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. My final thoughts. Now, guys, if you haven't played the game yet, as it is a year old, I'm assuming most people have or they haven't touched it, but there will be spoilers going forward into this. And just to let you guys know, I don't have my script up in front of me. This is me going off, literally just going raw, honest, just straight up opinions about this game, because there was a lot of hassle when this game first originally came out, and as I'm playing this like a year later, and I've just got to say that this game is definitely disappointing. But let's get into the main aspects of why we're here and why this game didn't just hit for me. And if I'm being honest, guys, I only played 2 hours of this and I said, nope, I have to put this down. I wasn't interested enough. It didn't appeal to me, honestly. But we'll talk about that more later on in the video. Let's continue. So the story is set pretty much after the Batman Arkham games, and it is in the city of Metropolis, where Brainiac has taken over. He's basically run riot across the city, and he's controlling the Justice League to use them to help in his plans to obviously take over, obviously, Metropolis, pretty much the whole world. As you guys know, if you're a big DC fan, Brainiac is no joke. Brainiac is no joke. Once he gets control of you, it's a problem. And especially the superheroes, it's definitely a problem. So with that being said, take that into mind when you're playing this game, that yeah, there's going to be a lot of nonsense you're going to see in this game. But of course, as we get into the Suicide Squad, we have Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Sharkman, and Boomerang. Now, these four obviously have been arrested. They've been in Arkham Asylum for years. And of course, when things were going on in obviously Metropolis, what did Amanda Waller do? She went back to the Arkham Asylum to get them out, to say, look, I'm forming a Suicide Squad. This is what it's going to be, and I need you guys to help. And the fact that they're getting villains is like, well, that's their last resort to take down the Justice League, right? And the Justice League, pretty much, you guys know who the Justice League consists of, but if you don't know, it's Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, and Wonder Woman. It's just those five, no one else, unfortunately. But yeah, so when you do see these characters, guys, you're gonna definitely feel like, yeah, it's great to see them again. It definitely does feel good. But one thing I will say is that was really disappointing is that I just don't like the gameplay of this, and it's a shame, because I was looking forward to playing this game. I was really looking forward to actually dive into it and see what was happening, because there was a lot of controversy around this game and a lot of people hating on it. Now, you guys know me, when I do my final thoughts, I normally have my script and I say what I like and say what I dislike. But I have a lot of things to talk about in this video, and unfortunately, like 2 hours into this game, I had to stop because it just didn't do anything for me, honestly. I felt like the story was just kind of here, purpose. It was just kind of there, and then also, you know, like seeing other characters was cool, but it just didn't grasp me. But let's talk about some of the gameplay and features of why I didn't like it. Let's go into the gameplay. The button controls, I don't know what it is about these button controls, but they're very confusing. Not so much confusing that you don't know what button to press, it's just like, it feels awkward. And I feel like if I was to change those buttons to maybe fit how I wanted it to be, it would probably be worse. I feel like it would definitely be worse, and it just wouldn't help me get along in the game, so on. And I feel like I probably would have quit a lot longer if I had to, if I'm being honest. But when you look at the gameplay, when you look at the things like the controls, you have to look at things like, you know, the graphics. I think the graphics are pretty good for what they were. I do think that, you know, the design of this game looks pretty good. I will say that the design looks pretty good, but it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I just didn't mess with the gameplay. The only character I was interested in using was Boomerang. I don't know why, but when I was using Boomerang, I felt fluent with him. I felt free. Whereas Sharkman felt like a brute. Deadshot felt like, even though you can get up close range with him and stuff with like his other gun and whatnot, but when you get into his sniper mode, he felt like more of a marksman. And you know, Deadshot is that, but he can also fight close quarters if needed be. But you guys know, if you guys know Deadshot as a DC character, then you know. But in this one, it just didn't feel smooth with Deadshot. Harley Quinn, I felt like I felt like there's no control to kind of using her, because she has a bat and she has a hook, and it's just like, okay. And I don't know what the bat is supposed to resemble, but I just, honestly, when I look at the bat, I just think of Lucille for some reason. If you guys watch The Walking Dead, then you know what I mean by Lucille, but it's 10 times worse than Lucille. And literally, that's how I feel. You know, it was cool to see Green Lantern. It was cool to see the Flash. It was cool to see Batman. I didn't even get a chance to see Superman. That's how much I had to turn this game off, guys. Honestly, I didn't see some of the characters or anybody else that was going to be in it. I did see Cobblepot, heard from the Riddler. And my thing is as well, what is the Riddler doing in a game like this? Like, I'm sorry, like, when it comes to the Suicide Squad, do you think they should be solving riddles? Like, that's not what they do. You know, I'm not trying to say they're completely stupid, but there was no need for that. There was literally no need for that. You know, in terms of, I'm trying to think of other things, guys, that I honestly didn't like as well. You know, I think in terms of the fighting, you know, when I look at every character's like fighting and set moves and what they do, like I said, Deadshot, Marksman, Harley Quinn was obviously Harley Quinn's a bit of a free, I don't know what she does. She's a bit of a free, Harley does Harley. Okay, that's how I'm putting it. Boomerang has his, obviously he's got his little boomerang. He's got his, you know, his speed stuff and whatnot. He's got his speed elements to him as well. He's got his shotgun. You know, he's definitely got some good features that I honestly did like Boomerang, but I just felt like even with using Boomerang, the combat just like I couldn't even really lock onto people, and it just felt all over the place in terms of the combat. That was my main gripe with the gameplay, guys. Honestly, any other features, the leveling up system, I took one look at it and I said, this is Gotham Knights leveling up system in terms of like getting different things, obviously XP and bonuses to obviously level up with, but worse. Because if you guys haven't played Gotham Knights, their leveling up system wasn't the worst, but you could tell it was somewhat complex, and they tried to do it in a way where it just didn't work for me. But I do think it wasn't bad. I just said, you know, it just wasn't implemented the best. But this was kind of like, I saw it and I was just like, okay, so I've got the upgrades here, but then what else does it do? You know what I mean? Obviously, it tells you can get different components. I think, yeah, like I said, Gotham Knights did it better. Gotham Knights did the components upgrade system better. I will say that. And it honestly, guys, I really don't know what to say about this. I got 2 hours in and I said no. And I haven't had a game like that in a while do this to me. And this is a year and a bit old, this game, right? And I wanted to play it when it first came out, but I said, you know what, let me let some of the nonsense die down and actually play it for myself. Came up on PSN for free, so I downloaded it. I said, let me just give this a try. Within half an hour to an hour, I said, what is really happening here? What is really going on? I'm trying to gauge this game, but I can't put my finger on it. I just don't know, like, it's too much. I mean, you know, in terms of the voice acting, let's just get into the things that I do. Like, the voice acting was good. I think the character designs were really good. Like I said, the graphics were good as well. The design of like the city, the game, like I think it was good. But the way this story and the features of the mechanics was implemented wasn't the best. And I've only played 2 hours of this. I know for others, they probably played more. But I just couldn't get past it any more than 2 hours. I wanted to honestly sit down and actually dive into this game properly, play it fully, and then give my honest opinions at the end and say, yeah. But I can't, and it's just a shame. And yeah, so as the video is coming towards this end, here's the things I will say going forward, yeah, guys. If you haven't played Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy or Gotham Knights, or if you have played those games, you know, definitely go back to them, play them if you haven't played them, check them out, because they are implemented so much better. And let me tell you this, Guardians of the Galaxy, you can only use one character, but it was so much better because the way you could use your teammates and stuff. Yeah, you couldn't use the teammates at the same time, but you could still hit certain buttons to make them do different things. You know what I mean? And when you look at Gotham Knights, you know, you could use all the characters, but you have to use them one at a time. And despite that, I still say that the mechanics were a lot better in the game than in the Suicide Squad, because this game, I don't know. Like, and this is the same people that made Gotham Knights apparently, and I'm just like, how did they make a better story and somewhat have better features for Gotham Knights, but then when it came to Suicide Squad, it didn't hit the same, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe it. But like I said, guys, yeah, play those two games. I know a lot of people liked Guardians of the Galaxy. I know a lot of people didn't like Gotham Knights, and I can honestly sit here and say this to you guys. I've given my final thoughts on Gotham Knights right back in, I think it was 2023 April. Guys, when I tell you Gotham Knights is a lot better than this, it's a lot better than this. It's like, I gave Gotham Knights a 7.5. Yeah. Due to all the bugs that were happening early on in the game, I stopped playing for 2 months, left it, they patched it, and I was like, okay, 7.5. I would have given it a 5 if it stayed the same. But yeah, this game right here, it tried to be something more than Gotham Knights and Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously. And I hate to bring up those two comparisons, but it tried to be something more than that, but it just failed. I just didn't like the mechanics. I didn't like the controls. The story. The story seemed okay from what I was gathering, but I just felt, honestly, I felt like I was being forced to play this, and it's just a shame. But as we come to a close, guys, like I always say and do in my final thoughts, let me know your thoughts on this game. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, because just because my thoughts is my thoughts, that doesn't mean to say that I'm trying to influence you guys to not get this game or not to play it at all. I would say give this a shot, but coming from me, this is not a good game. It's honestly a 3 out of 10 for me, and that's sad for this game. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gone. Peace.